and my microphone was muted the entire time. It never gets old. So welcome in, folks. I'm excited to be checking out tonight a game about feeding a black hole. This is Aarimous and Thornity's joint venture. Something that they've been working on for a while now. They're both pretty big and well-recognized figures within the software and game dev streaming category over on Twitch. And, I've been able to have the pleasure to interact with both of them and really enjoy my time that I spend with them. So I'm looking forward to what they've been working. Aarimous has made Chess Survivors and Hexagod, and Thornity has built a number of projects, most recently including Click and Conquer on Steam, which are both Chess Survivors and Click and Conquer both are quite successful projects for what they are. So excited to be checking out this joint project by them both about a game about feeding a black hole. As we always do, let's start off with the main menu screen. Very minimalistic, very nice, chill music as well. I love the start shapes. The color theory here is really, really good. We've got some nice slow movement moving around, just enough to kind of keep the eye interesting. Obviously, this reads as a black hole. The heavy clouds leading into the very strict line here of the shape is a little bit odd to me if I take a second to think about it. It took me a while to reach the point of oh, this is kind of like a mismatch. Like these clouds kind of mismatch the rest of the aesthetic. And it almost feels like there should be a fuzzy gradient here around the edge and not such a well-defined black hole, or it should, right? Like it feels like it should go one way or the other. And we are missing a sense of foreground and potentially background, which is a struggle when you're basically showing the game on your menu screen, and the game is a 2D experience. So for what it is, I think it is arranged nicely. I like that this is as far out as the asteroids get, so you have this kind of rule of thirds. You get this middle 2/3, and then a bit here, a bit here. It's a nice composition. We do have this whole thing. We've got some decent typography here on a game about feeding a black hole. It kind of leads you in to black hole, which is very big and bombastic and scary, which it should be, right? That all works really well. There are some interesting choices here where we have the settings menu just hanging off to the side. I haven't really seen that done before. I think this is okay. They've arranged it well, but it is definitely a little awkward. Just kind of being there. You can see we do have a dark mode, or not. I'm going to play in the original intended mode, light mode. I do like that there is a dark mode, though. That's nice. You can tell that's when a game is made by two developers, you've got dark mode built in as the first option. And then we have new game, Discord, press kit, wishlist. Press kit seems a little interesting to me to have as a main menu option. Same thing with Discord. Wishlist, yeah, I would almost just rather a big new game button and then have these three be icons up in the corner somewhere. I can understand, I'm sure they're looking at data that is saying this would convert better. But especially press kit, only a very, very, very small percent of people that play this demo are going to care about a press kit. I would definitely at least move Steam wishlist above press kit. That's just me, though. I'd be curious to see what their data is saying. Okay. Let's go ahead and jump in. Also, quit being in the bottom right position. Once again, usually bottom right is the happy path forward in Western cultures. So I might move that quit to be a more innocuous button up here or something. I get that it's next to the settings. But honestly, what I might want to do here is move this logo up into this white space up here and have it kind of going over the asteroids. And then that gives you a little more freedom down here to play around with some things. Lots of things that could be done. I'm sure they have explored similar options and decided against it for some reason, but I feel like that would be I think it would give more anchoring clarity with the logo being kind of near the top, and would just allow this bottom area to breathe a bit more and give a little bit more direction, right? Especially if these 3 buttons were brought up into, like, settings were hidden behind a menu over here, quit were, you know, bottom left, and then we had our icons maybe off to the side or underneath the title or something, you know. Lots of ways to potentially lighten this all up and drive people into that new game button. All right. Nice transition, the little swoopy swoops. Feed the black hole. I have been given no instructions. I have a countdown timer. If I mouse over things, it blows them up. I can't seem to click on anything. Mousing over is nice. So lots of nice juice there. It doesn't surprise me at all, coming from Thornity, who worked on the very juicy Click and Conquer, very similar to Digseum if you played that. I'm seeing a lot of inspiration from both Digseum and Click and Conquer coming through here. I do want to point out, first off, hovering over something is a lot nicer of an interaction for people. It's more accessibility friendly. Hovering is still a little bit rough for accessibility if you have like a physical disability or something. But it is going to spare that clicking finger. I always hate the beginning of incremental games when I'm just clicking everything, and it's so frustrating. Cannot wait until we automate the clicking away, right? But then as well, a really nice thing is that it opens it up very easily for mobile friendliness. And especially since they have such a minimal aesthetic, yeah, that's going to play really well on phones. So being able to just hover over something and tap and hold on it, all of a sudden you're not having to like simulate click events or anything. Works really well. Okay, so we got 2 triangle asteroid matter. I don't really know what that means. Tiny black hole size 1 out of 10. Let's go to upgrades. Yep, session timer. So we are increasing the amount of time. So this is a time-based incremental. So this is going to be kind of like Node Buster in that regard, right? You're trying to do as many big things as you can while the timer is still going. So there we go. I liked the chroming around that out of time modal. I want that same chroming, like the squares on the corner of the out of time. You'll be able to see that next time we go through it. I want a similar treatment here. This feels very plain and very cramped. I want that same attention to detail, that same sort of breathable space for the other screen. Breaker damage and breaker AoE. Let's go ahead and increase damage. That sounds like a good call. Feed the black hole. Okay, great. Crushing it. I'm already seeing how this is going to start expanding very quickly. Yeah, see all that nice crunching, like the boxes that cut into the corners and make a nice shape. We're not getting any of that over here. Bring that in. Bring that in. Give this some more space. I don't know that we need such long lines. If we do, because these names are really long. Hey, Prodigal, good to see ya. It might be worth exploring some other ways, just because it's very cramped. Everything is kind of equidistant from each other. Give it some breathing room. Be a big deal. Okay, number of asteroids we don't really care about because we're not popping all of them quite yet. Let's get some more AoE. So we went from 100 to 325%. $10,000 to spawn electric asteroids. So I like that we're going to be getting into different types of asteroids. That's making me hope that this is going to be a little bit more different than just like Node Buster. That there are going to be some sort of special interactions. All right, thanks for hanging out, Prodigal. Appreciate you. Time added when black hole grows. Interesting. $300. Obviously, we're not even close to there yet. But how big is our reticle now? Pretty dang big. That's a nice chunky size increase. So that is a nice thing. A lot of the times we talk about this, that upgrades need to feel satisfying and rewarding. That felt great. That was a very sizable upgrade. I don't really care about upgrading the amount of asteroids right now. I guess whatever. It'll make them more dense maybe, and we'll be able to pick up more. Yeah, that was a good idea. That's gonna speed things up quite a lot. So this is doing an interesting thing, right? Where very similar to Node Buster, where I'm moving from, oh, this is just kind of nice, to all of a sudden I'm trying to analyze patterns and movement speeds and think, Okay, where am I gonna spend my time most efficiently? Where should I be going to get the most bang out of my buck? Okay. Doubling seems good. Doubling the amount of asteroids. Locked for demo. I was wondering what sort of wall we were going to hit, which means this is not locked for the demo. We'll probably be hitting that fairly soon, I would imagine. Feed the black hole. Yeah, so this is going to be nice. Great. I like the slight color shift, too. I would say it could be a lot more obvious, but I'm going to guess that it gets a lot more obvious over time, and there'll be stronger and bigger ones that, kind of like balloons, we're going to be popped through multiple layers. Okay, I just noticed these instructions down here. That's fine. One nice thing that we're seeing in the background, this is such a good little hack to make a screen feel more alive. Just add some little slight, very subtle movement. This is just squares appearing and disappearing at various different rotations. I'm sure this is just either a particle or a shader or something. Like, you can see up here, for some reason, all the squares have gone away. That's an interesting bug. But you can see how much more lifeless it feels. And then you come down here, and all of a sudden, it feels like you're in much more of an environment. So definitely steal that. Use very small, subtle movement in the background to make something just feel a lot more lived in, a lot more alive. Okay. Asteroid size. That seems like a bad thing, because that means fewer asteroids will fit within my radius. But I'm going to guess along with that is some sort of reward. Like, it'll give more. Hey, that guy, good to see you. Welcome in, friend. How you doing tonight? Let's go ahead and go up in our damage. Ooh, crit chance. Fun. One thing that I always look for in games like this, because we've had a good amount of... Ooh. Wow. Okay, I guess they only have 3 health. That's a big get. One thing I always look for in games like this is how much agency am I going to have as a player? One thing that we talk about a lot in our design analyses are ownership, right? To what degree am I able to feel like I own this particular run? Why are we punching a hole in the universe? Because this is a game about that. This is a game about feeding a black hole. And to ask any further would be to invite madness. Crit chance and greater speed. Love that. So when I see crit chance, right, that immediately screams, ooh, build. Like, I'll be able to make a version of this that will be different from everyone else's that isn't just, oh, we are all going to buy all the same upgrades. Now, I don't expect that. But when I saw crit chance, my heart fluttered for just a moment thinking, oh, am I going to be able to go, you know, Griffin build and or cat build and have crit chance and be able to kind of do this multiple ways? I'm betting not. I'm betting this is not going to follow that. But it is something that I always am curious about. Ooh, those are big. Jeez, those take a lot of health. So how much do those actually give? 2, 3. I think it's more efficient to go for the small ones still. Like, I chew through those so much faster. Hey, we grew our black hole. Went from tiny to baby, which is the medical terminology. More breaker speed, more asteroid density, and then we're going to get crit damage bonus and asteroid intensity over here. I am feeling very kind of locked into these upgrade paths. There's not a lot of, oh, I'm going to take this first and then this. It's very much so like a linear path. That could just be because of the demo. Like, we ran into a dead end pretty quickly back there. So that'll be an interesting thing to see in the full launch. Yeah, more density, sure. Locked for demo. Yeah, I mean, it's very chill, right? Like, and I feel like they're kind of taking some lessons that they learned from Click and Conquer. Click and Conquer also had very chill music and was a nice, very chill atmosphere. And for some people, that was not a good thing. For some people, that felt like they were making light of war crimes. And I think the developers were saying, like it's kind of supposed to make you wonder, are we the bad guys? Like, it's not a bad thing that you're feeling uncomfortable about this, but I think that went a little bit over some people's heads, and they did not assume intentionality. And so it kind of became this whole thing. There's a lot fewer moral quandaries around feeding a black hole, right? So that chill music is going to be able to go down a lot more smoothly. Hey! Amaripon, great to see you, friend. Oh, man. I'm sorry, it looks like some of the hats have been absconded with. We'll go ahead and substitute the black tube for Mr. Octopus Head. Hope you're doing well, Amaripon. Money from Asteroid Matter 1 to 6? We're sextupling our income? That feels like a pretty big jump, right? Jeez. I'm not... Like, one thing that would be nice is a little tracker to show how much money you have. And I also wouldn't mind a little more thematic currency. Not necessarily dollars, but like, you know, asteroid, whatever, right? Yeah, we went from barely scraping 100 up to 600. That's a pretty big jump. You know what I was getting into with Baby 2, but I forgot how little sleep it comes with at the start. Oh, Amaripon, yeah, dude. Oh, bless your heart. I hear you. I hear you. I feel you. Oh, I hope things are going well and you find some sleep soon. Goodness gracious. I saw an interview with Stephen Colbert recently where somebody in the audience was saying, you know, do you have any advice for a first-time parent? He said, advice, yeah, get some sleep. And then everyone started laughing and he said, yeah, we're laughing, ha ha ha, but seriously, get some sleep. And he said, his pediatrician said, in this situation, your baby is Joseph Stalin. Now, if I'm Joseph Stalin and I think that you are a threat to me, but you're like a hero of the revolution, I can't just come at you and execute you because the people will revolt. But if I keep your wife awake for 3 days straight, then she'll do anything to be able to get some sleep, and she'll sign a paper saying you're a traitor to the revolution. And then I can do whatever I want with you. And so he said, your baby is Joseph Stalin, so treat it appropriately and get sleep in any little moment that you can. Yeah, it is crazy how... is it because he's Stalin's sleep? No, it is crazy how much you forget and how much you're just like, oh, we could totally do this again. And then you forget that you're going to be older. And you have the other kid to worry about too, and it's just, oh my gosh, it's harder. And then you get through it, and then it's like, oh, that wasn't that bad. But in the moment, you're like, how do I just like not, scream at this poor child that does not have any other way to communicate? Jealousy is real. Yeah, I'm sure. Add time when an asteroid is destroyed sounds really, really good. Spawn a new asteroid when an asteroid is destroyed. Okay, that's cool. These are getting to be like more interesting upgrades. Once again, I still do like long for, when do I do this? What route do I take? Instead, it kind of boils down to an efficiency. An efficiency route instead of like a how well can I master the game systems. It's kind of just, you're going to get wherever you're going to get. It's very cozy in that regard, but how fast are you going to get there? Spawn asteroid when spawn a new asteroid when an asteroid is destroyed, or spawn when the black hole grows. I mean, I don't know. Is the black hole really growing? I haven't noticed the black hole growing. I'm gonna like keep an eye on that right now. Okay, there's the growth. Okay, all right. Yeah, I have not been noticing that. Okay, interesting. I definitely feel like we're not... Yeah, let's spawn a new asteroid when asteroids are destroyed. That seems like a good plan. More reliable than when the black hole grows for now. And then more damage. Oh, that's gonna be huge. That's what she said. Oh dear. Perfect. Yeah, this is dramatically faster. Once again, I do still want that money counter, right? Because that's I want the money counter, and I want some way to like recognize, oh, like the black hole's this close. Oh, there's the. Okay, I just barely noticed that ring there. That's the indicator for how close the black hole is to growing. I almost wonder if there's a way to make that a little bit more obvious. More AoE seems good. Yeah, sure. Kind of interesting that you get a little bit of setup time, right? While the world populates, you can still kind of like move your mouse cursor around and get it set up where you need it to be. Kind of interesting. I'm not gonna lie, the yellow ones just kind of look like Cheetos to me when they explode and they're floating into the black hole. Woo, these are getting expensive. And once again, like if we're going on asteroid popped, not like damage dealt, then that does encourage me to seek out smaller ones because they're going to give me greater chances at spawning new stuff, right? That was roughly equivalent in efficiency. Go ahead and get that again. Money from asteroid to matter 6 to 16. Those money jumps are so big. It feels a little outrageous, to be frank. All right, whatever. Moving on from that. Not gonna waste time there. And then as well, like when I get plus to time, I'd like that to be a little bit more obvious of like, hey, good job. That upgrade you got is contributing to your time. That upgrade that you got is contributing to your money. It's contributing to the black hole speed, right? I think there's a lot that could be done to make that reward sense a lot higher. As far as, you know, epic meaning, is there a lot of epic meaning here? I mean, it's epic in the sense that it's space. It's a black hole, right? That's a pretty big cosmic thing we don't really get to interact with very often in games. Is there a lot of meaning behind it? No. This is pretty shamelessly just make big booms, right? And there's a time and a place for that. Social sharing, community, not a whole lot in this, right? Like, you might get people recommending it to each other if they're in the market for a new, just chill, satisfying incremental, but it's not gonna be, oh my gosh, you have to see the clip of this streamer that did this crazy thing, or you have to see what I did in this game, or I'm gonna beat you on the leaderboards, right? There's no sense of community in that regard. More damage, yes. Cool. As far as randomness goes, I mean, yeah, there's some randomness. Like, there's randomness in the layout. There's randomness in proc chances. There's randomness in those sorts of things. No randomness in your level up. That's the prescriptive chart for your experience in the game. So in that sense, you know, I think there could be a little bit more randomness. Maybe this will develop over time, but, like, I don't have any avoidance either, right? There's nothing I'm really trying to avoid. It's very heavily in that kind of cozy realm, right? Of everything is fine, there are no fail states, you can kind of just tinker around with whatever you want. It's just a matter of time. Once again, an efficiency machine. Hey, Gamion, good to see you, friend. Welcome in. Yeah, we talked about ownership. Accomplishment, I mean, it is satisfying, right? It's hard to deny that the Node Buster formula works. It's very satisfying to make big things go boom quickly and to have the big satisfying, you know, thrumping that they've got. Lots of visual juice getting poured into here. All right, starting to go down this tree now, and that's 1,000,000, so we're gonna have to wait a minute on that one. Oh, and there's Than. Welcome in, Than. Good to see you. Okay, these are the electric ones. Oh, and it does like chain lightning. I love that idea. I want to see way more of that before the game is over. Like, this is where you can easily start going into builds, right? And once again, I'm sure this is not that kind of game, but for like future designs, like, you are a wizard. You have a chance to spawn things with chain lightning. You're a barbarian. You're going to have big circular things swinging around your reticle that's breaking the asteroids. Can you withdraw that as real dollars? You know, I didn't see that in the press kit, unfortunately, or else I think they'd have even more coverage than they're getting right now. So that's like an example of how you can bring in some more ownership into a game like this, right? This chain lightning thing is like perfect for that. We're starting to get all sorts of nice Cheeto colors swirling in, so that's feeling very accomplishment, right? It's feeling very rewarding. Okay, Hadao, good to see you. Welcome in. Hope you've been well. How are you doing? Electric asteroid damage up. Yes, let's get that. Ooh, electric asteroid max chains. And like, you can see how this starts to like grow a whole bunch, right? You have like your electric nodes down here. And you could even start turning this into sort of like a Path of Exile sort of. You got your electric nodes down here. You got your barbarian swirling axes. You've got all these things, and then you can start to kind of build your own class, but you only get a certain amount of points. So where do you spend them? How do you spec your asteroid destroyer? All sorts of cool stuff that could be done, right? If you were going for a different experience than a cozy, incremental, satisfying Doritos spicy nacho sort of experience. Which I don't blame them for going for. Spicy nacho is objectively the best Dorito flavor. Chance to fork. Wow. Okay. Goodness. Max chain distance, asteroid density. Oh, let's get more asteroid density. 100%. That's like such a good. Oh, that's a different one than what I thought it was. I'm sure it'll still be good. We're getting into green, so we're moving into cool ranch territory, which I'm not very happy about. But it's hard to deny the fact that we're getting a lot more money from them. Right? Tragically, this is why we can't have nice things. If my wife were watching, she'd be berating me right now because she's one of those cool ranch heathens. Yeah, I mean, like, we're kind of getting to the point where I'm just like, I don't know, click on things that are enabled. And I'm just, like, I almost don't even want to think about it too much because it's starting to become a bit heavy on the cognitive load, and I don't have to think about it. So the brain, being a cognitive miser, is just like, oh, whatever, just grab something. It's all going to be great, right? I'm telling you. You would. You would. The timer is still very short, which I'm kind of surprised about, but it makes sense because they want to feed you into this as quickly as possible, right? Like, this is the game. The other thing is just the reward you get for playing the game. And I know that's maybe a bit backwards from how some people might consider it, but I really do feel that way. This is the reason you play this game. You don't play this game because radioactive asteroids, cool, different types. You don't play this game because you're like, ooh, I love popping asteroids. You play it because you love how much destruction can happen when you pop those asteroids, and that destruction comes from the upgrades. You're popping the asteroids in order to get more upgrades, right? So it's a very simple game loop, but I mean, it's been proven to be effective, and there's still a very hungry market for games like this. And it's another big lesson of just because somebody has already done something close to your idea does not mean people won't also appreciate your idea, even if it's incredibly similar. All right, what are the radioactive ones doing? Oh, are you leaving like a damage over time cloud? Okay, so that's kind of cool. Now that's making me reconsider how I do things. Like, okay, I want to target these lightning things, but I also need to be populating the area with clouds, so I'm gonna just not go from like left to right. I'm gonna try and jump around a little bit. Okay, that's cool. I like that. that is bringing a little bit of mechanical interest into the popping part of things. I like that a lot. Big fan of that. I want a lot more of that. Okay, so just finishing up the electricity. Keep pump-a-lumping. Lightning going crazy. I'm realizing that some of these lightnings are hitting other lightnings and popping them, which then make more lightnings, which is a super satisfying effect. Really love that. Nice sound effects as well. This repetitive sound effects it's very easy to make that very overbearing and very stressful. But they've made them subtle enough that they just kind of still work. Have I been doing any game dev lately? I've been doing a little bit. I did work a little bit on like a tic-tac-toe roguelite. That has been fun. I haven't made a ton of progress on it, but the base systems exist. Maybe we'll show it off sometime. The idea is, you start getting like huge, almost like Scrabble board type sort of experiences with massive areas and poison clouds you try and stay away from, and big bonuses you try and hit, and all that fun stuff. That's been it's very early on, a little project I've been tinkering around with, but it's a fun one, yeah. Aside from that, I've been doing a lot of writing, honestly, mostly, in the little spare time that I have. So yeah, these poison clouds starting to get really big. Are they doing a lot of damage? I don't know, like the spin speed, it almost feels too slow to really take a lot of advantage of these. Yeah, thanks for asking, K-Head-Ow. How about yourself? How's how are things going with your projects? Are you still working on your engine? How's it all progressing? And I hope work is still going well. Radioactive asteroid duration. Geez, money from asteroid matter. 16 to 220. Yeah. Wow, that's a big leap. 16 to 220. Jiminy Christmas. Yeah, I could see like a druid class, right? Where it's you get pets and they just run around and start popping things independently of you. You could really go crazy with something like that. This chain lightning thing has really set my imagination on fire. All right, so now we just have this last node, and then I think we'll be locked out of the demo unless there's more stuff that will come from that. So just as another note, like, I don't even really know what that last upgrade that I got was. I know that it was like a big, expensive one and kind of like the end of a pathway, but I didn't really internally process what it's gonna do for me. Because I don't have to, right? I can kind of just keep running around, popping asteroids, clicking on nodes that become enabled, and like, that's enough. I don't need to be thinking too much about things, for better and worse, right? Money from asteroid. Okay, so it was a money thing. Okay, got it. Hey, Aarimous! Speak of the devil himself, how you doing, friend? No, having a great time. We've been talking about all the good little design bits, and your chain lightning on here has just got my brain on fire of like, that's a wizard spell. What if you had like different classes you could pick and different like Path of Exile style skill tree things where you could spec into a wizard build for it, which I know is not this game, but it's got my my gears whirring. So like a big 2 roguelike as a test project. Nice. Yeah, doing very well. Thanks, Aarimous. Great to see you. Hope that you've been well. I saw your video recently on moving. I don't know if you've accomplished the move yet, but I hope that is going well for you. Lighting is for sure a PoE-inspired thing. That's great. I love that. I think there's just a tremendous amount of potential and stuff like that. Very, very clever. All right, we're at 1.3 mil. More asteroid density. Woo, we're still going. Breaker damage 12 to 32. Okay, we got blues. We're all the way into Cool Ranch Dorito color palette territory, and I don't like it. Team Spicy Nacho forever. All my stuff is here now. I just need to unpack. Oh my goodness. Wow. Well, congratulations on the big move. That's always a huge event. I'm hoping you're able to be finding some peace and times of reflection and growth from it all. I think we need like 1.5 million? But yeah, thanks for coming in and hanging out. I did try to put this under the game about feeding a black hole category on Twitch, but it seems like there's not a category, so I don't know if I just missed it or not. Right, yeah, I mean, we're cruising here. Ooh, I just saw a big time boost. Once again, I do really wish that I had more impact of, like, my upgrades have given me more time, right? And they have made this impact. Okay, we're definitely slowing down, but we're still growing here. Spawning new asteroids when they're destroyed. Crit chance to 100%. Jeez, the leaps on some of these upgrades are outrageous. Chance to add time when an asteroid is destroyed. Okay, to 95%. Jiminy Christmas. Like this size of a leap so early on kind of makes me wonder, like, where is this going to go, right? What is the actual length of this game? Because I believe it's supposed to be a somewhat small one, you know, a couple hours. At least that's the template that has been drilled into my brain by similar games like Dixium, Click and Conquer, all that sort of stuff. You can kind of beat it in an afternoon. Stuff like that does make me wonder, like, how far does it go? Is this going to break that mold? Is this going to go on for quite a bit longer? Are we going to go way out of the side? Although I don't think so, because the background, like, shader disappears as soon as we pan that far out. So my guess is the full game is going to be like this amount of upgrades. But maybe I'm wrong on that. Crit chance to 100% sounds crazy. Electric damage going up. Number of minions. Okay, we were just talking about a druid class that could have minions running around and popping things for you. Jeez, okay. Definitely getting the explosions. Game is still getting reviewed by the DB site that Twitch uses. Got it. The goal is 2-ish hours for the main game and then different trees for alternate modes. Oh, very cool. Okay. Kind of like challenge modes type sort of things. That's nice. That's a really good way to get, frankly, reuse a lot of content, but then recombine it in a way that allows for new and interesting challenges. That's cool. Also, this is going on forever. We are getting, geez, lots of time. Wow. Yeah, no, that's very clever. Yeah, I think that's a really, really cool idea. I love doing challenge modes like that. Even though I don't really enjoy planets, Gargantua black hole, stars, cool. Excited to see what all those are. I don't usually do like endless modes, but anything that makes me have to think differently about the game, like challenge modes, I'm usually all about. It's why I don't typically love ascension modes very much, like difficulty tiers in Slay the Spire. But in games like Dice Folk, I really love them because they not only made the game harder, but they also introduced new tools for me as the player to be able to deal with those challenges. So all of a sudden, every new run across every different like archetype of character you could play as, I had to start considering newly, oh shoot, how do I deal with this new situation that they have just brought in? And it got a ton of my time. All right, we are clearing out the asteroids. We are galactic menaces. Doubling the amount of asteroids sounds really good. And add time when an asteroid is destroyed also sounds really good. There we go. Love it. We're definitely growing that black hole really quick. I like the ripple effect, that distortion on there. That's nice. It's almost like a drum beat. Once again, very subtle sound effects that are just rewarding. It's nice. Yeah, I really want to see what the lightning, the poison clouds, they have all got me interested, and I see things like stars in the upgrade list. It gets me hankering for, oh my gosh, is this going to be more than just bigger boons? We've played through Node Buster, and that was great, but like we are really moving past, or moving, not past, but we are continuing to evolve the genre. So really curious to see what all these are. That's enough to like really hook me in and say, ooh, okay, maybe we buy this, right? I mean, of course I'm gonna buy it, but as a consumer, just as a generic consumer, it's tantalizing. Gargantua Black Hole almost reminds me of like shoot, what's it called? The oh no, it's a tower defense game ish. Genome Guardian, where you have a whole bunch of different types of like characters you can choose from to be your turret that shoots, and then also different ways that they get placed on the map to kind of keep things interesting and fresh. So very, very enticed by all that. And I think we just maxed out the tree. I am become a mini black hole deity. Feed the black hole. Yes, sir. I don't know why, but I must feed the black hole. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely getting very satisfying. It's hard to kind of zoom out and imagine, well, what else is going to be about it, right? What are those other upgrades going to do? Because right now, we're like nuking the entire screen. How is this going to keep on introducing new mechanics and also have them be like legible? Oh, ta-da! The confetti. Oh, I love that. Very cute. I love that there's a definitive you beat the demo screen. I was a little worried about that. I was like, oh, are we just gonna like now farm up money? Very cool. Boy, that ending especially feels very Norp analog, right? Very cool. You beat the demo. Main menu, just one more, ... Wish list. Curious why that doesn't have the Steam icon like the one on the main menu does. Just one more? What's gonna happen here? Is it literally just, I want to blow stuff up again? And it does seem like we're at a full minute on the timer right now. Like, unless it kind of depletes faster over time to kind of compensate for the and make it so you can't be infinite, right? I mean, this is really satisfying. Zap. Chain lightning definitely feels way stronger than the radioactivity does. And not only does it like seem like it has a bigger impact, it feels a lot stronger. I kind of forget that the radioactive stuff is even happening, to be frank. Okay. Great. Come on. Feed that black hole. Get bigger. I want that ending screen again. I can't tell like how far along we are. So did I lock myself out of the... Like, when I saw just one more, I assumed I would just be replaying that last level or be doing something special. It looks like it's neither. It looks like it's just, okay, you can go back and keep playing the game within the constraints of the demo. Got it. Okay. Thank you for confirming that, Aarimous. Okay, cool. Well, that is a game about feeding a black hole. What a satisfying little adventure. I mean, it's dead simple in a lot of ways, right? Which is great. Like, there is a huge market for, I need some dopamine. I need some catharsis here to just kind of let my brain melt a little bit from the day and just look at all these colors, right? I think there's a huge market for this. At least for now. Until inevitably the genre starts demanding evolutions. But I think this is going to be a very worthy addition to the genre that can stand up there with the others. It's very satisfying, very nice, very clean looking, very professional. The upgrades are interesting. Like I said, I do just want a little bit more sense of, oh, this is what, like, in terms of time and money and feeding into the black hole, I'd like a little bit more impact for my upgrades there of like, understanding really when things are getting added to the timer, or oh look, this is a much bigger chunk that's going into the black hole. I think those are things that could be improved upon a little bit, but man, what a satisfying game. Well, a simple Sunday afternoon game for some free dopamine. 100%. Yeah, totally. And I think it's hitting that mark 100%. So that is a game about feeding a black hole. We'll throw the link on Steam once again into the chat. This is the demo. Go check it out. For the low price of free $99, you too can obliterate Cool Ranch Doritos at a cosmic scale. Aarimous, thanks so much for coming in. Thank you, K Hadao. Thanks, Than. Thanks, Prodigal and Ameripon and everyone else who was hanging out here tonight. Appreciate all of you, and I hope you're all doing well. I really, truly do. Once again, please share your projects with us. We want to share the journey with you. We want to see everyone's journeys and progress towards entering the game industry. Wishing you the best of luck. Thanks so much for hanging out with us tonight. Catch you next time.